Ah, yes, Ivar the Boneless, let's go. The new rally infantry commander that is the meta right now. 3-target AoE smite rally. Let's go. Well, since he's 3-target AoE, can we use this guy in the field? There was a little bit of that going on and some excitement from the community going on because you look at his DPS and maybe you can use him in the field. But I cautioned everybody because there's some skills in there that don't work. And I love using rally and garrison commanders in the field. I do it all the time. I do it with David. And we'll talk about that discrepancy. We'll talk about that difference. And we'll apply this because we tested it. Everybody else is testing it. And we're getting good results on whether or not Ivar the Boneless is going to be viable in the field. So stick around while we go through it all right now. Hey everybody, I'm your boy War Daddy Chadsky. I put out these videos all the time. If you enjoy these videos and like the content, please give it a thumbs up. Helps out the channel, helps out the videos a ton. Also, if you are not subscribed, consider doing so. You can hit that subscribe button and you can hit that bell to get alerts when I put out content like this. None of this costs you anything. Doesn't even cost you anything. So from there, I love doing these types of videos. I'm a sponsor creator for Rise of Kingdoms and enjoy what I do. I love it, absolutely love it. And Ivar came into the game. I'm going to have a card at the top about basically his guide on rallying, okay? Because obviously he is super potent on rallying, all right? But we went and used this guy in Canyon, or I'm sorry, in Arc. And we went and tested different things out, okay? And a buddy of mine, Dom, and Dom has been around for a while. He's in TKC. He and I have played the game a long time together. He's recently come back. I'm going to put a link down for his video down in the description. He goes really in depth in a 5v5 situation when it comes to Ivar, and show him some love. Be sure to subscribe to his channel. But the concern I had with Ivar is we look at his skills. He's got a 3-target AoE, all right? And then he's got a little bit extra rage of 15 rage per second for 3 seconds, and he does 2,500 damage factor to 3 targets. Okay, that's pretty good, all right? And then you come over here, and he has got some decent stat sticks, a little bit of health. The March speed, okay, well, you've maybe got 20% March speed. You've got some field applicability, if you will, and then you've got a big infantry attack bonus. But then it falls off because his 3rd and 4th skill do not work in the field. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit different from David, and I'll kind of explain that in a little bit. But you come back to his expertise. If you do get him expertise, all right, you're going to take 10% less normal damage, and if you have below 50% of troops, which is not ideal in the field, your troops will take an additional 5% less normal damage. Okay, so not a crazy good expertise, all right? But I don't think people would use it that way. If people wanted to use him in the field, they want to go use him 5-5-1-1, right? Well, is it enough damage? And is it enough stat stick to really carry? I don't know. But as the looks of it, it doesn't really look like it because you got to have something else, okay? Because all of this stuff here, that's really, really good with his smite bonus, okay? And his bonus damage to cavalry and the rage gain and the things that he does just works when you're in a rally attack or you're hitting a stronghold or a city. Even in a counter rally situation, this doesn't even work, okay? And so from there, all these busted good things that make him a rage monster when he's rallying, they don't even work in the field. And so when we tested this and looked at it, a lot of people got some information on the DPS that him and Sun Tzu would do, and they got really excited. Like, can we go run this guy with Sun Tzu? And after doing the test, it confirmed it because I was concerned about it at the beginning. I was like, guys, there's no way that Ivar and the mitigated skills that he's got to work in the field is going to do better than BQ. Is it going to do better than Luce? Is it going to do better than Wallace? Wallace is insane with Sun Tzu, just insane. So many good synergies that it works out really, really well. But when we look at this and we're trying to figure this out, that's how you have to compare it. Like, is he good enough to do that? Is he even good enough to put in the field if you're running 3 smite marches? Okay, I have a lot of experiences, and this is where I'm going to transcend a little bit into cavalry. Okay, when it comes to cavalry, all right, I run a 3 combo setup for cavalry, so I'm very, very experienced in this, all right? And the reason why I do, obviously with Arthur, I use him with Hector, I use Gang and Achilles, and then I'll use Attila with David. And the reason it is a good situation with David is because David is just like Ivar. Guys, he does 3 3 target AoE, a lot of damage. 2,800 damage factor is a ton. He actually does more than Ivar. And he has a cool little cleanse here, all right? But then he's got a little bit of a stat stick. Now, it's only 35% defense because the skill damage reduction, he has to be garrisoned. His third skill doesn't work. So we're in that same conversation with Ivar. Here's the difference. 4 skill works. Works in the field. This is why you use David in the field. All right? 40% more combo attack damage. That's a debuff on the target. The target takes for 3 seconds from all sources. So basically, when I run 3 combo marches, I am laying this debuff down on the target to where my Arthur, wrecking, my Gang, wrecking, Achilles, wrecking, Hector, wrecking. Anything that hits that target when this thing is going is just crushing the target. And that's why you use David in the field in a 3 combo setup. Well, if you come to infantry, we're in the same situation with Ivar, except Ivar just does not have any sort of debuff. If he did, hell yeah, we'd run that with 3 smite marches in the field. If he had the same debuff, a 40% more smite damage taken for 3 seconds from all sources, if he had the same debuff as David, yeah, I would have said right off the rip, he's going to be a good 5-5-1-5 commander to use in the field. But no, he's not. He's a 5-5-1-1 commander, and guys, he's just not performing. He's not going to generate the rage like Luce. He's not going to generate the rage like BQ. He's not going to generate the rage like Wallace when it comes to Sun Tzu. I mean, you got to be really freaking good. You got to be at the meta, because that's the meta right now. Sun Tzu with any one of these 3 guys, right? And so, of course, Sun Tzu can go carry CJ and make CJ look good. Enzo was running Gorgo behind Sun Tzu mainly because of Gorgo's great debuff she has, and he was making Sun Tzu and Gorgo look good. Okay, so Sun Tzu's going to carry just about everybody. All right, so don't be surprised if people run Ivar in the field and say, oh, I get good reports. Well, of course you do. That's like saying I get good reports with Chan and Markswoman. Okay, but to get the best reports and to maximize Sun Tzu's value, you got to run them with BQ, you got to run them with Luce, or keep those 2 together and run them with William Wallace. Okay, as much as you guys, listen, I get it's a placebo effect. If you never invested in William Wallace and you always hated on the guy, you're not going to like him. You're going to say he's bad, but like it or not, he's incredible with Sun Tzu. He is just as good as BQ, in my opinion. The way he's set up, Sun Tzu loves single target damage. A lot of it. Because single target damage makes Sun Tzu a better AoE true damage commander. Well, our boy over here, William Wallace, not only does a ton of single target damage, he does multiple, which just fire up the rage even more. So that's why Wallace works so well with Sun Tzu. So Ivar, not going to work. The rage cycles go about 7 to 8 seconds. That's not very good. You can check down on Dom's video. He went through all that stuff as well. And when we were testing this, the main thing I wanted to see is, well, could I run them with Luce or BQ and just switch some things up? If I put BQ with Sun Tzu, could I run Ivar with Luce? And the results were awful compared to like a Philip or an Alex or even a CJ, okay? And so from there, you do not, just guys, trust me, okay? You can't have it both ways. You can't say that I overexcite every commander. Everybody needs to max. Everybody needs to go mid-max them or, do small investments in them. And then when I turn to you and say, do not do that if you are getting Ivar. If you get Ivar, you better be an infantry rally. Do not try to put heads into them, even to make them 5-5-1-1, okay? You got so many better options in a 2-march infantry setup. Okay, if you ran 3 marches of smite for infantry and you wanted to run, CJ, or you wanted to run Alex and Philip, there's all kinds of different commanders and combinations. All right, I've got my murder ball lineup that I just put out a couple of weeks ago, and it's got like Wallace with Sun Tzu, it's got Luce with Alex, and it's got BQ with Philip, or it has Luce with Alex and BQ with CJ. Like, there's all kinds of different ways to do that. Don't bring Ivar into this. Don't get stuck with this AoE. He just doesn't do anything else. It's just basically AoE damage, a little bit of rage, and some stats. That's it. Like, this day and age, guys, with all the different things that commanders do with all their skills, that's just not going to work in the field. So do not do that. I don't want to see players out there running Ivar 5-5-1-1 because you're going to regret that one. Okay? From there, You understand why I run David. I understand the need if you want to go to 3 smite. I get that. But at the same time, guys, there's other good options out there, and it's always good to see. So I was concerned about that when he first came out. I was really concerned when people started putting out, hey, they can be a lot of DPS with Sun Tzu, and this could be really good, because I started getting blown up in my Discord. All right, my Discord link's down in the description, and everybody started asking me in there, hey, is Ivar going to be good with Sun Tzu? And I'm like, who said that? Why would that even work? And they were just like, well, the damage is really good, and this is what people are saying. And then we go test it, because I was very concerned with it and expressed that, like, guys, that's not gonna work. And then we went and tested it, confirmed that. So get down in the comments. Let me know what you think. If you got any other questions, you can get down there. I love talking to people in the comments. I love the feedback. I love the likes on the video. Just all the interactions help out the video so much. And if you want to get into my Discord, guys, I ain't hard to find. If you ever want to get a hold of me, just get into my Discord. Come look for me. Shoot me a ping. I'll be there. And we can have a discussion about it, where a lot of this conversation comes from my Discord. So if you enjoyed this video, throw a thumbs up on here, give it a like. Love you guys, and hope you have a great day, broskies.